What's going on, good people? Welcome back for another episode of Summer with the Summoners. We are Damon
and Latoya.
You know what it is going on here. Thank y'all so much for checking out this episode. And it is March out here. Shout out to this Women's History Month.
Yes, it is.
In this thing here.
Yeah, we're in month 3 of 2021.
Ooh.
Happy March.
Yeah. And so
happy pandemic 1 year.
It's coming up. It's coming up soon.
Crazy.
Coming up soon here. We're jumping into it here. We're going to get right into it. How do I know if I'm ready for marriage?
Yeah, I didn't, you know me, I've got like 4 songs in my head, and I don't know if we can intro it, but how do I know if he really loves me? That's what I thought of.
Who's that?
I think it's Whitney.
Whitney. That could be Whitney.
It could be.
Let
it
us
could
know.
not be.
It could not be. We'll find out later.
How do I know? And it's true. It's the number one question. You know, I was just talking to someone the other day. Like, you know, I was like, so when you going to do this? And it was like, you know, I just, And I was like, yeah. Let's talk about it.
Before we talk about it here, we want to thank everyone for rocking with us over on Patreon, bonus episodes, exclusive content, as well as the Facebook group and social media and all that stuff. Make sure you check out the videos on YouTube. But of course, we want to read another review this week because we appreciate that. Also, for the month of March, we were trying to hit 100 reviews.
Yeah, so if you're listening and you haven't written a review, go slide on over there to Apple and give those 5 stars and say those great things that you're enjoying about the podcast, because we truly do appreciate you for rocking with us and love your feedback all the time.
Absolutely. We are at currently, as the time of the recording, 83. So for the month of March, we're trying to hit 100. We can do it. Let's read it. Let's get into it this week here. 5 stars. You know what it is. Simply, yes, smiley face. This is from Wander, repeat. It says, genuine, funny, inspiring couple. I'm excited for the chance to listen to them talk about their journey and the wisdom they have learned. Appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure.
We got that. We're going to try to share a little bit of the wisdom, man, that we've got, going because we lived it. And if it's hopefully bringing value to you, that's all we're trying to do. So let's dig into it here. How do I know when I'm ready to get married?
How do I know?
Give it to him.
Anyway, man, so how did we know?
That's a good question to start off with. Because if you don't know our story, we
Go back and listen to some podcasts.
Do that. But the recap, previously on Summing Up with the...
on episode 2.
Met in high school, got engaged in college, got married in college. So we're just going to jump right into the middle really quick. We were in college, junior year. I proposed to her December 17th. 2007. And it was a big thing because we at one point... I'm actually this. I don't know if I ever asked you this question. We had flirted with the we had flirted with eloping. We had said it once or twice. Eloping in college. We were struggling. We were just like, let's do this thing, right? On a scale of 1 to 10, how serious were you about eloping?
I don't really know. I mean, it all sounded good. I was ready to be done.
At that moment, right? We were probably about 7, 8.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I was a 9.5. I was committed.
I was probably like a 6, 7. I mean, I cared about people.
Wait, I just said 7, 8. You just dropped back down to
6,
a 6.
Because I was like, I mean, what if... Well, 7, 8, because I was like, man, we can do that and then still come back and get this wedding done. And then, it's the best of both worlds. I'm all down to go to a courthouse. I saw a friend on Facebook the other day just post, I'm this close to eloping. Yep. It was a lot of comments on that thread. Just because that's how she wrote on her post. Because everybody been like, yep, been there, understand.
Yep.
From planning, financial, want to have sex if you believe in. It's just like, God dog, let's just get it done.
Yeah.
So I was about 6, 7 because I was a little too scared to do it.
Your numbers keep
okay,
going
7, 8.
No. I just want people to know.
First of all, it was over 12 years ago.
It was. And I was 12 years ago at a 9.5. Okay. But how did we know? I mean, I don't know how much we've talked about this in a long time here. How did you feel like you were before we got married? Before I was, popped the question here. How were you feeling?
We were young. We said it a lot, which means nothing. I mean, it means a lot, but I just was like.
Specifically, we were in college.
Yeah, we were in college. Yeah, we were in college on campus.
Because young could be relative, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I do think that's about as young as you can get, though, unless you're 16. I mean, somewhere between 18 and 21. Pretty young to get married.
A little bit.
I would say so.
Yeah,
in
yeah,
this
yeah.
day and age. They used to get married so young. I was also just questioning recently, why do cycles start so early? Like 12 is such a wasted time for your period. I'm sorry, guys. It just doesn't make sense. But then I'm like, they got married at like 16. Like, so maybe
they were getting married around 14, 15.
I'm just like, gosh, this is crazy. Sorry, that's a side note and a tangent and a disappointment.
You spoke that from your soul.
I did, because I literally thought that today.
You spoke that from
like,
your
stop
soul.
it. And then why don't you even introduce my kid in a minute? Anyway, all right. So how did I know, being 2021 or whatever we were? Damon and I started dating, and things are easy. He respected me. He loved me. He loved the Lord, and that was important. And I felt cared for, and I felt loved, and I felt like I didn't need to look anymore. I really felt like, what's gonna get better than this? Because there's nothing wrong with this, and I enjoy this, and I can see myself growing with him, and I know that he'll lead me. That was like kind of like, and I was like, all right, I'm done. And I know people always like, if you dated me in high school, it didn't mean anything, but that's all I ever had, and like all of that failed. And it was like, someone lied, someone cheated, someone wasn't great, someone wasn't this, blah, blah, blah. And so it's like, oh, this guy's working. And he loves me, and he like checks off boxes I didn't even know. So that's kind of where I said.
Yeah, it was an adventure. We were dating for 2.5 years. We had did the rounds with the family. We had big fights. We had great times, great laughs, and for myself personally, before I popped the question, it was something where I was just like, oh, this is a person that I could see myself, getting old with, being 100 with, right? And it's just like, that was something that I had always wanted. I had always had several different great examples growing up of that in my family, and just in my life in general. Of that love that had progressed over time, and I was like, man, I want that, and so with that, it was something where I really had to think about Katoya, and I was like, oh, this ain't even a question, fam. This is fantastic. Shut it down, and echoing everything you said, So that was really where it was, and I think for myself personally, I knew that I had to have a plan, right? And I remember talking with her parents. Do you remember me talking to your parents? Because I did it when we were about an hour away at College Town. And I remember I told you I was doing something, because I didn't want to tell you I was going to go talk to the parents, because that was all part of the plan. And I remember sitting down, just talking to them 2-on-1. And, they were encouraging and positive and so on and so forth.
I guess I don't really have a memory, because I wasn't really a part of it.
Right. I just don't remember saying like, hey, I'm going to go talk to your parents and ask for their hand.
No,
right?
It wasn't like that.
No, I didn't say that.
But I probably was already like, hey, y'all, we're going to do this. I'm just waiting on Damon. So let me just let y'all know what's about to go down. I don't know how, when, but we serious. So yeah, here you go.
So that's what it was for us. We both felt great about it. We had, we're kind of getting into some things that we will share in a minute as well. But we also we just had dialogue about it. There were no secrets about our future plans, right? And so I think that's one thing that, how do I know if I'm ready to get married? How do I know, we're ready to take this next step? Is that we got to be talking about it. Like, you got to be having a conversation about the next steps, moving on to marriage and what that looks like and entails. Like, if those conversations are not being had, then I think you're not ready. Like, if we're not talking about marriage and moving on to this next level of our relationship, then it's not ready to go to that next level. You know what I mean? And so I think that was something that we had multiple times for a while.
Yeah.
More for a while, for sure. Because we talked about, we were proposal, ring, we were daydreaming. And when you in that love, when you love it, you be daydreaming and whatever. But we was like, hey, all right, nuts and bolts. Let's just talk about what that would look like to be together forever.
Right. And I know so many people they just really are waiting for their guy to do that, or be willing, open to do that. And I say guy because it is mostly on the stereotypical side of a guy who's more reluctant more often. But if your partner or whatever is just a little bit reluctant, I think we had a community that was very much like for marriage, and maybe marriage isn't what someone wants, and so it's just about having the conversation to figure out what does the commitment to the next level look like for you. And I think that's what marriage ideally shows. Like, no, I'm officially ready to be with you and no one else, and my options are closed, and having those conversations. And even if the conversations don't come easy, that's okay. It's about really the fact that you had them, that there's growth from each one. And then after a certain point, you're like, you know what, we're not really growing anywhere. I think this, you think this, and then maybe you have to decide something different. But I do think toiling through those conversations, whether they're easy or difficult, is just a part of the process.
Yeah, you gotta shut all the profiles down. You gotta close all the apps. It's 2021, so you gotta get rid of all the apps. You gotta close all the profiles, end the subscriptions. Clean up your contacts. I'm talking to everybody. I ain't just talking to one person if you listen. I'm talking to both sides of the party,
Can't
right?
leave anything else open.
No.
We're kind of getting into the points. Are we going into the points?
We digging in. It's only 30 minutes here. We
Okay.
kind of get on in that bad boy.
I want to make them very clear, though.
Make them very clear. Go ahead.
So,
make it plain. Write the vision.
First thing you just said was talk openly and honestly,
Mm-hmm.
and be on the same page about it. Check. You need to be able to do that. 2, you need to make sure that there is no more options for anyone else. That you are no longer searching or keeping your options open, shutting down any open connections or anything like that. I mean, I would even say that starts in the middle of a relationship, but maybe you still lingering on to something or still trying to keep that. You have to X out any other avenues so that you can make sure that you're truly investing your time in this one person that you are planning to spend the rest of your life with.
How many options you had to cut off before I popped the question? Gosh.
Before you pop the question, my options are already done. Like I'm just being gracious to someone out there who still has that as an option, but realistically, that should really have already stopped by the time you realize
if I met your peoples,
committed relationship.
If I met your peoples, fam, I should be the only option.
Yeah,
that should be it. Don't come up for Thanksgiving if I'm. If
and I think in our world today, in our culture, we have a lot of what do they call it? Like that type of dating, just
open relationships.
Just like just people just
we talking
ping pong or some type of term they use, but ultimately you're just like dating. I'm dating you, I'm dating you, I'm
dating
you. Yeah, it's just kind of like this loose thing. It's like, no, I'm in a relationship and this is serious and it's committed, it's exclusive. You need to let go of all of the rest of that, right?
Yeah, you definitely need to let that go here. And if that's not where you're at right now, then
you're not ready for marriage. That is just period.
Dot, exclamation point, comma.
Well, one of my greatest thoughts and misconceptions of marriage, and I laugh at it, and we've talked about it already a little bit, make hints of it on the podcast, but like, just because you get married, stuff is not going to stop. So whatever you don't wrap up or take care of or deal with, then it's just going to roll right into your marriage. So marriage doesn't solve anything. So definitely don't get into marriage for the sake of solving anything.
In many ways, marriage will expose and expound upon things.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you're right here.
Yeah, in your face all the time, in these streets, every day. So for better or worse, your strengths, weaknesses. Marriage is definitely going to maximize that. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was 2.
Yeah.
I know you were giving
I want to.
Good. Be crystal. It's helpful.
I mean, we have tons of information that we just sit here and talk about, but I want you to leave knowing that we said a couple of direct things.
Yeah. What do you think the third one is?
That there is no perfect time or place in life to get married.
Ooh.
Like, how do you know if you're ready, that you can get ready where you are today, right? Like, you have the rest of your life, hopefully, with this person to grow with. You're not gonna, like, people like, I need to achieve a certain income, or I need to have this job, or I really need to have this figured out, or I want to own a home first, or I gotta do this first, I gotta do this first. I just don't agree. I mean, I think that everyone has their goals that they would like to do, but I think that when you're ready to get married to somebody, you're not constantly just trying to figure out how much you can get done before you get with them. A lot of it is the journey that you do with them, because what you do right now is not going to really matter 10, 20, 30 years. Like, I don't know. It's something about journeying with that person. So as long as y'all sit down, make a plan, understand where you're headed, you may lose your job with this person. Someone may be out of work. Someone may get hurt. Like, you have so much more time for everything else to happen. So it's just gonna happen regardless. So you don't need to wait on possibly this one thing to be right in order to finally do. That's complicated to me. But I think that goes right back with that open communication in order to, know where y'all are with that.
Yeah, I think that is one of the biggest things that people get hung up on. I think, I like lists. I think that's top three. The desire and the need, and really some societal pressure to feel like you got it all together beforehand, right? And, whether you listen to this in your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, whenever, like, there's just not a time when everything is going to be perfect. So if that's holding you back and hanging you up and you're waiting on that, then you're kind of chasing the wind here, right? And it's like for us, for example, here, again, we were in college here, so our plan had to be very small, but it was very practical and tangible to execute, right? So I had a job. I had a solid job. Did I love the job? No, right? All right. You had a solid job. Bet. We were able to afford rent, food, groceries, Wi-Fi, live in a one-bedroom apartment, and live life together. You talked about the journey together.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much everything we would do independently,
right?
We were able to
so
still do together.
No, I didn't have the house. Still don't. I didn't have the house that I want the kids to be grow up in, and didn't have the career. I wasn't even pursuing comedy at that time and whatever. But I had someone I wanted to take this journey with. I had a sidekick. I had a person we were gonna be side by side to go on this adventure together with. And so I think that is one of the biggest things to just to let loose. If maybe you feel like that's kind of holding your hands behind your back, it's just waiting for that right moment. It's understanding, how do I know when I'm ready to get married? Is when I feel like I'm free from this bondage of thinking that I gotta wait for the perfect time. Because you'll be waiting for a long time. Because 2020 taught us there is no perfect time. So I think that's crucial when you're talking about marriage. Because you hit it on the head. Somebody can lose their job. As soon as you say, I do, get back. Hey, yeah, we have to let you go. It's just a reality.
Oh, I thought I had it all worked out. For the rest of your life from that one decision?
For the rest of your life?
Putting a lot of weight on that.
Ooh.
I mean, I have friends who waited a little bit longer. And I feel like they were more established. And they have a nice house and a beautiful family. Great.
Fantastic.
That's good too. It's fine. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter. But I do think that we put too much stress on that worldly perspective, like the whole, do I have a house? Do I have the money? Do I have a job? All of that. When really what you need to be focused on is, can I deal with this person? When they piss me off, is it still going to be okay? I like waking up to them every morning? Like, the stuff that doesn't change, right? Like, the who we are part means far more than what you have, because that can always go up or down. I saw a sweet little homeless couple the other day, and I was like, I wonder if they started.
Did they started homeless? They could.
If they were together and it went bad.
Sure,
or did they find each other in their homelessness? I was just like,
know.
That's cute though. Y'all got each other right here.
Yeah.
I thought it was sweet. But all that to say, I'm not saying somebody's about to be homeless after they get married. I'm just saying the reality is
you don't know.
You don't know what's about to happen.
You don't
But can
know.
you journey with the person while it's happening?
Yeah.
And I feel real honored and blessed to say that. I mean, we've been through a lot of ups and downs and hard times and no home. I mean, heck, we were practically homeless when we moved here to Atlanta. I've never said that out loud.
We were teetering, baby. We were teetering.
No, we were homeless. We literally were staying with other random people. We had no address to call
By
our
definition, we were homeless.
Yeah. But I'm not the one to try to make my story sound worse by being like, and we were homeless.
We were
now,
homeless.
I wouldn't do that. But technically.
On paper, we were homeless. And pregnant.
That just sounds like a disaster.
But we were
together.
Come on, somebody.
And we were happy. Together, sad. Together, happy. Mustering through, figuring it out.
Goodness.
Well, nothing in life that It's like what is it saying? But like the stuff you work for is the stuff that builds so much. I mean, because we've been through all of these different scenarios in our life together, then it's just made us stronger.
Yeah.
And that's so cliche, but it's true because now we are bonded in these events that have taken place, and we are stronger because of them, rather than trying to avoid them to just make it easier. So I'm just saying, is there a perfect time? The perfect time is when you can worry about really what's going on between you 2, which goes into another part.
Number 4.
I don't know yet.
Well, I'm gonna make this one number 4.
Okay.
You can make whatever one you're gonna number 5. But you hit it on it. I want to hit on it again for a quick second with some clarity here. You can see yourself waking up to this person every day, right?
Yeah.
Now that seems very flowery and kind of heady and just kind of in the clouds, right? But I think one piece of the puzzle of that is being able to have had a little bit of time together, and time will be relative for a variety of factors, where you've seen the highs and lows. You've had potentially, not saying it's guaranteed necessary, but you've had some conflict and some tension that you've had to work through, right? Like when you're talking about, I can be with this person every day. Because there's certain things that are deal breakers. There's certain things that are non-negotiables for you. And I'm not talking about the laundry list about, I want them to be, 6'3". I want her to have, yada, yada, boom, boom. We all had that laundry list. Right? I remember Tori came through. I had my laundry just crumpled that bad boy, threw it in the trash.
I ain't made none of it.
Well, no, it was already surpassed, baby. You understand? Here, square root. And so, so with that being said, it's just understanding, like, can this be a person? When I look at who they are in their totality, when I see them come home from when I see them be stressed at work, how I see them, in a family situation, like, because you're taking this whole person, right, with you on a journey for the rest of your life. So understanding, stepping back and really getting out the feelings, getting out the lovey-doveyness and stepping back. This person, right, is the person I'm saying, I want to ride or die with you forever. And so that is really important to really step back and be objective and to think through that.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep saying I'm blessed, but I do feel like I'm just so thankful that I not that I'm like so mature or something at 20, but I just remember being like, no, he's a good man. I need a good man. And I'm good. Why just keep trying to play around trying to find another better man? But he's already good. Like for what? And so I just and I'm so grateful that the Lord I just felt like, all right, this is it. You don't even need to try anymore, like work this one out. No matter what it is or what, like he loves you, he will love you well, you love him, you're attracted to him, you will do this, you will do that. And I was like, bet, this is it. And I think it was more like, I just don't want to waste no more time trying to do all of that other stuff. If you got something good, why are you trying to get something else?
Well, the falsehood of there's, grass is green on the other side. Which
I was just like, I saw somebody other side and it wasn't that good. And this is good. Check. And then we gonna grow. So, but it is something. Can you journey through this every day and see them and know who they are and wanna every day? And
and even stand on this for a second here, it's something that you have to think about at that moment, because in reality, that person who you're marrying is not going to stay the same, right? That person is not going to be the person in 3, 5, 10 years.
People right here.
We're not the same people.
Weird.
You know what I'm saying? Like 20. For us,
there's like some still underlining core principles.
I think character.
Yeah.
We talked about baking the cake last week.
Yes,
right?
It's true, but I also think that's important too. Like you're looking for
strong
foundation.
Yes.
Because all the other stuff is just fluff and it can change.
Core values. And I think there's another one. I'm gonna put that 4.8. Like really,
it's them core memories. Like on
Inside Out.
Inside
Out. Gotta have those core.
This is the foundation of me right here.
Yeah,
And it's like, what is that person's core foundation?
Are you kind?
Well, I think you kind of lie a lot.
you lie a lot.
Yeah, so that means you're going to keep lying a lot. That's the core principle.
You a liar.
Don't like it. All right, so that's not good. But no, you're really loving to others. Oh, that is fantastic. I'm gonna make sure that that's a core principle in you, because no matter what's going to happen, I know you're going to be loving to me. You're going to be loving my husband, to our children. You're going to be loving
to my family, what the kids might be, right?
Yeah, you looking for that.
Gotta look for that.
And not that other fleeting stuff, because that stuff just be going in and out.
It'll change. We are not the same.
No.
The tier 2 stuff is different, right?
It's all different.
It's all different. From fashion to interests to hobbies to things, things of that nature here. So yeah, you had a big number 5 you wanted to get to. What you said something on the low? I missed that.
I did. I said kind of sort of. I'm still doing property management.
Oh my goodness! I'm still making people laugh for pennies. So we all out here having a good time, and that's the journey we're on.
All right, sorry.
Number 5. How do I know
when you argue, you don't think the relationship is over? You want to be that to me. That's a level of security, right? And you want to be secure in your relationship to know that a tiff or a disagreement isn't going to end you.
Woo.
I can't imagine operating in that way, because then we'd be almost on the verge, like even outside of marriage, but just even if we weren't married, the amount of disagreement or spats or tiffs or frustrated moments, we'd be like on the brink weekly.
Yeah.
And that's just, you're going to disagree. I mean, I literally laid in the bed with Debbie the other day, was like, why do we keep thinking so differently?
She does wrestle with that.
I do. I'm like, aren't we on the same page? Why would you think that, y'all? The question was about if the tree falls in the forest, does it go boom?
Can we talk about that for a minute? We got time as our podcast.
I got on Google and read the analogy.
It got very heady. You got very philosophical.
I know it got real deep. I was like, ooh, I am not a philosopher. These people philosophizing. Anyway, but I was like, why would you? We had 2 completely different answers. It just doesn't make sense to me that he had his answer, and maybe we'll take it to the gram or something. But it was just like, why don't we think the same? Like, you're gonna disagree, but it shouldn't be the end of the relationship. You shouldn't be on edge for the end of your relationship at the moment of arguments. There should be a willing to have some security in your relationship. So before you get thinking about marriage, if the spat causes you to think they're gonna leave, then that's not a good spot at all. No. Because if you feel that way, you have a reason to feel that way, or there's also something not reconciled in you that makes you feel that someone's going to leave. So then that ties into just like a willingness to like apologize and be willing to talk through the disagreements.
That's a core. Let's go back to the inside out. That's a core. Being able to have healthy conflict. We've talked about conflict before. We got to bring that back probably for another episode. Again, to dig. It is. It really is, because you can break it down for so many different ways. But like that thing is true about like not letting that conflict be like, it's because in a relationship when you're dating, you can be like, all right, I'm out. Like I don't like it, I'm out. All right, oh, boom, boom, boom. I ain't got to deal with this. I'm out.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, actually, we're going to be in this forever, so there's no out. There is no out if you're desiring to be married. Married is obviously a thing that you're trying to do forever, right? Until death do us part, right? So when you get into the big spat, when the fight pop off, the mentality can't be, oh, I'm out. Instead, all right, you shake, I dwell.
I know what's better. You think, damn, I'm stuck. I mean, it's bad, but it's like when you stuck somewhere, it's like family, right? When you love your family upsets you, this is still your family at the end of the day. You can't not be your
They can't leave the family.
I'm so sorry, but I am no longer a part of this family.
I'm out.
And I am leaving. Now you can avoid, delay, not call, whatever. But you can abandon, right? Yeah. And you can also do that in your marriage. Yeah. But ultimately, if you think, no, I'm stuck with this person because I want to be with this person, so I have to make this work with this person.
And I think we're both saying we're definitely not saying that don't have conflict or whatever the case may be. We're saying that when it comes, because we are pro conflict. We're pro conflict because usually it leads to conversation being had, dialogue being had, healthy conflict can be done well. right? So the spats are gonna come, the disagreements are gonna come, all that's going to come, which is fine and well, right? But if you are thinking mentally, emotionally, right, that this is so much that when it happens, right, is not healthy consistently, and we, both of us, one of us, are thinking, you know what, hands up, I don't want to try to make this work, and I'm out, then we gotta pause here. And it's okay for a pause. Listen, we might not know who you are if you're listening to this here. Ain't nothing wrong with a pause on this side of the aisle. If you got to pause, pause. We got a friend who's had to pause a few times. Ain't nothing wrong with a pause, okay? And so it's just important here. Like if you're thinking in a positive way, I'm stuck because I want to be stuck, then that's the right mentality instead of I'm out, right? And so it kind of goes back to thinking about the different options. Like no, there's no other options, and there's no option to leave. It's like, all right, I may need to take a day. I may not text you back, whatever the case may be, right? Yeah. But I'm in this thing.
Yeah, it's true. Figure it out before you say I do.
Yeah. 5. Listen, we're gonna be honest here. We still got a few more points on this sheet, so we're probably gonna run this back.
But we not gonna hold you.
Oh no, we ain't gonna hold you, baby. All right, then I ain't want none.
Yeah, I ain't gonna hold you.
So we're gonna do a part 2, man, because there are a few more things we definitely want to share with you. But hopefully this episode brought some type of value for you. And because it's a really important question that many people think of.
It is.
It's an important
How
question.
do I know? There was another one I was thinking of too.
Another song? Think about that before we go.
I'll have it for you for next episode.
There it is right there. As always, we appreciate y'all rocking with us. Check out the full episodes on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. Bonus episodes right now on Patreon. We got some more coming your way in the month of March. Check out the show notes here for the Facebook group. And the month of March, we're trying to get 100 Apple Podcast reviews. Okay, right now we're in the 80s. Take a second if you can, if you're listening. We would love for that to happen by the end of the month. Thank y'all so much. Damon and Katoria, we summing it up. We'll see y'all next time.